Hi guys.
Hi guys.
Welcome back to the Genders Table.
Welcome back guys. Welcome to the channel. If you're new, hello to you. If you've already been here, then thank you. So on the table today, this is the original DeAndros and I came into the family DeAndros. On the table today, we're going to be basically speaking about are we doomed to basically repeat mistakes that our families, parents made, and how does it basically impact us in the long run, and if it does actually impact us in the long run. Would you like to do the honors?
Before we jump into this video, if you didn't watch the past one, go into it because it's very good.
Yeah, some words of knowledge.
Yeah, we talk about some good stuff, so go have a look at our last video.
And make sure to send your dilemmas to us on our email here. And yeah, so let's jump into the topic.
So are we doomed to repeat the same mistake that our families done in the past?
And does it affect us, basically? How does it affect us within our own relationships?
In a way, it depends how we take how we see ourselves into that person. For example, from my parent or my auntie, my uncle, whatever it is. It depends how I take him into my life.
How much you value them, basically.
How much I value them. How much I value them. How much I take what they done into my life. You know what I mean?
How much it impacts you.
How much it impacts me. Yeah. For example, my dad. I'll say my dad because my dad is a good example.
Are we talking about parents?
Yeah, I'll say my dad just because it's a good example because my dad done a few. I'll say mistakes because it's me seeing that he's a mistake by having different kids in the past with different obviously women because we are quite a lot of siblings. Do you know
How
what I
many
mean?
of you are?
We are probably 9 or 10 if I'm
so
not
your dad's
sure.
a football coach, man.
With a good
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So am I doomed to do the same mistakes? Yes and no. Yes and no because I think it all comes to me what I want to my life. Do you know what I mean?
In your life. In your life.
What I want for my life. Do you know what I mean? Because if I want to do the same thing what he done, I could be doing as well. But because for me, I can see as a mistake that maybe for him wasn't a mistake, but for me, I see that is a mistake because we have in mind that a family is created by a woman, a man, and kids. You know what I mean? There's no like jumping to other women, other kids, and that are involved. And maybe it wasn't a mistake for him, but for me, it is a mistake. And I could also be doing this. I would say that probably in the beginning of my life, right? When I decided to go into these, having relationships and everything, I probably, play around and everything. But then I realized, I'm trying to go in the same path and do the same mistake. Do you know what I mean? So if we are doing or not, yes, we could be doing the same mistake because it's something that we've seen it, but we also can avoid, which I'm doing right now. For example, I have a family, I have a son, and yeah, I think this is one of the examples about this.
I don't really want to go into
families,
but I would say the way that it does impact you, the way that you kind of get raised and what you see. Like for myself, long story short, one thing that I did really struggle with growing up, and I'm still growing up and I'm still struggling with it. This is very vulnerable. And I'm not a vulnerable person to people that I don't really know. It's very vulnerable to me. It might not be to someone else, but I struggled a lot from what's the word I was looking for?
From attachment.
Attachment. I had a lot of attachment issues, which is not I would get very close to people and try to hold on to it. I had a lot of attachment issues in the sense of I would self-sabotage myself. Even in terms of my relationships, I felt like my relationship with him worked because he was very patient with me.
Well, let's talk about that. You see these attachment issues, yeah, and self-sabotage. In the beginning of our relationship, she did try that. She did try that. But you know I'm a bad man, you know. So this is why we're here today. Okay.
Yeah, so I feel like he was very patient with me, which is something that maybe anyone that I tried to pursue a relationship before didn't have the patience. And honestly, thank you. Thank you.
Of course, thank you. Because look where we are now. Thank you.
So, and I don't, back in the day I was like, well, what's the issue? But now I'm kind of growing up. I understand now that why it probably didn't work before. Because I had that thing of, if you want to go, the door's open. And because I was so used to people going, it got to a point I just got used to one of the most important people in my life walking out of my life. For me, it was like, if that person can walk away, then
like nothing happened.
Anybody else, at least after that, doesn't mean anything to me. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And it just goes to show you, like, the things that parents or older people that are in our life that have such a big impact on us. Till now, I still struggle for me. Mm. And it's like, it's constantly in the back of my mind that like, even sometimes with my husband, I will sit here and think, oh, one day he's going to just go. Mm. Because I truly sometimes sit and think to myself, I am like incapable of being loved. I'm incapable of someone actually just staying in my life because they love me enough to stay in my life. You shouldn't think like that, but that is trauma. That is something so small can traumatize your kid for years, and it brings it into a marriage, and then you get to a point you start thinking to yourself, why can my children not stay in a relationship? Why can my children not do this? Why can they not do that? And we don't understand as parents, as caretakers, how are the things that we've done within our own relationship, within our lives, how it can impact the children, you know?
Yeah, for a really long time though, can't lie.
So that's a bit of vulnerability from me. Like, I don't want to go into too much things, but we need to be careful.
Yeah.
We need to be really careful. Don't fall into the mistakes. That's not to say hold your parent like a chokehold, because they are only human. It's like the older we get, the more you start realizing your parents are going to make mistakes. They are only human. Yeah. So they can only give what they can give. But show a little bit of grace to your kids, you know, or someone that you're raising that, like, I don't know what to say.
But yeah, well, what Brie said, it makes sense, because what she's been through, I would say she's been through because it's in the past, right? It might still be here, but it's not as much. Yeah. But it just shows that I'm sure a lot of people goes through this as well, but they just don't talk about it because it's hard to talk about it, because also it's another thing that parents don't really take that wording coming for a child. They probably expect another.
And many kids, we don't say nothing. We won't say anything because it's just like there's no point, or there's that fear of keeping your mouth shut. Like as you said about like your dad, right? About having many kids, like, will that impact you on whether you should have kids with multiple women? You can sit here today and be like, oh no, I wouldn't do that, but it's like later down the line,
I could be going to the same.
You can start doing the same thing, and then you get to the point of when you already start doing things that you should. It's like you hang around with a thief. Sooner or later you're gonna become a thief. You start doing whoever you chill with, that's who you're gonna become. And it's like if you start chilling around with people who are always with different women having kids here and there, at one point it will become a normal to you, and you will probably start doing it. And then once you fall into a habit of doing something bad, now it's like, oh, well, my dad had many kids. My dad done it. I turned out okay. Exactly. I'm alright. Do you know what I mean? So it's constantly having to come back to yourself and realising that this is not the path I want for myself. I know my mom, she's watching my YouTube, so I'm not going to say nothing bad. But like my mom's a shouter. My mom's always been a shouter. My mom will scream the house down. And she could easily just telling you, oh, can you put some food in the microwave for me? But the way she'll be shouting about it,
you won't be looking like she's telling you to.
And sometimes you'll be like, why is your mom shouting? I'm like, she's not shouting, she's just telling me to put some rice for her. But it's like, that's just like something really, really small. But then now I'm growing up and I'm like, I tried so hard to not be a shouter because I didn't like the fact that my mom was a shouter when I catch myself and I'm shouting. I'm like, bro, like, what am I shouting for? I'm not even a shouter. But it just goes to show you that the little things that you see growing up will literally, you'll do
Tend
this
to do it.
subconsciously.
Yeah.
And it's like the more you try to not do what your parents done that you really didn't like, the more you try, the more you start falling into the habit, because you're so focused on not trying to do it, and you end up doing it.
So we can actually end up doing what they done. We can actually end up making the same mistake they done, but we also can try to avoid them.
Yeah.
You know, because they already done their mistakes. You don't want to do that mistakes anymore.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So we're gonna just end it right here, guys. If you want us to talk about it more, then we can. We're really trying to be a bit more vulnerable, but
but we're not gonna be spitting on the tea.
yeah, I'm not gonna cry on YouTube.
But we are, open up, and we hope you guys, interact with us.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want you to be so vulnerable,
Yeah,
but you can, let one tea out.
Yeah.
We don't mind.
We don't judge.
But yeah, we hope you guys enjoyed this journey. Because we are.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that we wanted to be. It's something that we wanted to do it before, and we actually enjoyed it.
So yeah, you're gonna keep seeing us again and again and again.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to
like,
comment,
and subscribe, and we will see you later on the Dia's Family.
Peace.